is this understanding that we have of the Ten Commandments, is that what they really are? Are they just these moral instructions for us to implement according to how we hear them at face value in society? We've all heard of the Ten Commandments. We all know the Ten Commandments ever since we were children. Most of us, I'd say, maybe it's going too far saying all of us, but most of us, we've encountered these Ten Commandments as part of several of these Bible stories we go through. We all know them to some extent. We all, perhaps at one stage, really got into reading about them and thinking that we could try to observe them. We think of them generally as some kind of moral instructions that God gave to human society, that if we follow these moral instructions, we'll have a good life among each other here in humanity, and we'll probably have a good life too. We'll probably be rewarded afterwards. That's generally how it's thought of. And a lot of us try to observe them. A lot of us respect and value these commandments according to our face value understanding of them. The older we get, probably the more we start breaking a few here and there. And at a certain point, we start thinking, well, some are a bit more severe than others, or at least I'm not breaking the severe ones. Like, for example, thou shalt not kill. Maybe I haven't gone that far, but sometimes maybe the Saturday, the Shabbat, the Sabbath, I'm breaking that one here and there. So, that's not as bad. So this is generally how they come into our lives. And, a lot of people believe in them. A lot of people don't believe in them. Even those who don't believe in them, no matter what religion they are, they still generally value these Ten Commandments. But is this understanding that we have of the Ten Commandments, is that what they really are? Are they just these moral instructions for us to implement according to how we hear them at face value in society? Well, the answer to that, in short, is no, in terms of the wisdom of Kabbalah. That as the wisdom of Kabbalah is a method for taking us, people, anybody who has a desire for it, from this world to a higher reality. So likewise, when we reach that higher reality, we discover how all these Kabbalistic texts that have been written throughout history, with the Torah being a key one of them, where the Ten Commandments are written, they speak to us only about that spiritual reality, which is a reality that is beyond our current perception and sensation of reality, beyond our five senses, beyond everything we can even imagine. Because everything we imagine is still taking up some kind of corporeal form, some kind of corporeal time, space, and motion. And that's generally how we read all those Bible stories, including the story of the Ten Commandments. We usually think of it as all kinds of people, for example, the people of Israel in the story, following a leader, Moses, who we think of as another person, who takes them to the foot of Mount Sinai, a mountain. This is how we generally think of it, and who climbs that mountain and receives the Ten Commandments upon that mountain, given to him as these two tablets from a god. And sometimes we think of that God as well as some kind of human form. In general, we're always putting together these things that we read about in these texts into some kind of corporeal forms, objects, images, places. We think of it as historical events. But the wisdom of Kabbalah says that there is a deeper spiritual meaning to all of this, which describes it as a process that we can be engaged in that process right now. It's a process that we can apply to ourselves as a method. And when we apply it to ourselves, then we see completely different definitions beyond all those surface things that I just mentioned.